When you're gunning for a world title, the fire seems heavier, the bunker seems smaller, and the flag feels as heavy as your opponent's will to win.
All day we fight!
This is professional paintball, the fastest growing sport on the planet. It's a team game of speed and strategy that requires individual heart and courage.
Stay alive!
And today, some of paintball's finest teams and biggest stars have come from around the world to decide who is the best of the best.
That's the way to fight out, huh?
The Smart Parts World Paintball Championship is next on ESPN2.
Welcome to the Mohegan Sun Arena for the Smart Parts World Paintball Championships.
I'm Bill Gardner here with Matty Marshall, paintball legend.
Thanks, Bill. And I'll tell you what, the first round of this event, it definitely lived up to the hype. We had Excessive's pretty much flawless victory over the Russians. Seattle Naughty Dogs came back from a real big deficit against a strong New York Aces team. And let's not forget about Dynasty's 8-point victory.
This has been a stellar tournament. Each of our teams have now played their first game of their 2 opening round matches. And now everyone will play their second and final games of the first round. We have 2 conferences of 4 teams, but only 2 teams from each conference will advance to the semifinal round. And after 4 weeks of play, Atlanta, LA, Seattle, and San Diego all in great shape with 2 points each. Today's game is the San Diego Dynasty taking on the Russian Legion. Now let's meet our teams.
Let's go, boy. Let's go right now, man. Right now, right now. Come on, boy.
If they win today, they move on to the semifinals. Say hello to the San Diego Dynasty. Let's take a look at Dynasty. They got some superb players in Alex Fraige, Ryan Greenspan, and Angel Fragoza.
Kicking like a chicken.
And you can be sure that Brian Cole, Yosh Rau, and Todd Martinez all should be stepping it up big time.
Matty Ho.
San Diego's coach is John Almeras. Today, it's do or die, win or go home for these guys. Say hello to the Russian Legion. Look for Kostya Fedorov, Bart Blonsky, and Alex Lundqvist to put it all on the line in today's game.
Я хочу передать привет маме, папе, дедушке, бабушке, дяде Феде, совхоза Бородуни.
The coach of the Russian Legion is Alexander Tarando. We're just about ready for the first point, but before we begin play, let's go over the rules for this tournament.
Our teams play 2 20-minute halves. It's 5-on-5, capture the flag. To score a point, you must capture the flag and hang it in the other team's base. A hit on any part of the body or equipment, and the player is eliminated and must leave the field immediately. If they fail to do so, they'll be given a penalty. Penalties are similar to hockey. Minors are 2 minutes in length, and majors are 5.
Big matchup between these 2 teams, San Diego Dynasty, Russian Legion. They've met each other many times before, Billy.
Definitely. And who knows who's going to win this, because they've traded a number of times. Generally speaking, San Diego's been a little stronger.
San Diego traditionally a little stronger than the Russians in their past matchups. Oh, but it doesn't look so good for this in this first point. Garrett Maxwell, he's going to come off, as well as Ryan Greenspan. Oh, and the Russians sliding right up into on the Dorito side of the field. Dominant field position right now for the Russians. And you can see he's wrapping around that Dorito side because he's unopposed over there. No one is shooting at him. Todd Martinez is going to be able to get some shots.
There's the bump. He's right to the 50.
He's up to the 50-yard line. He's trying to get shots on Todd Martinez and the Snake. I don't know if Todd knows that he's up that far. Todd's gonna have to be able to look in the inside and try to pick him up. He's rolling his gun at Todd right now. We see Todd probing around the inside of that bunker on the Snake side. That's Permini for the Russians, and here comes Todd. Now Todd didn't know that the Russian was that far up on the Dorito side.
A lot of patience. You notice that Russian just sitting there beating, waiting for that moment right there.
And here comes Fedorov swinging around with this boy in the center, and Brian Cole submits. He's waving him off. He took one in the grill, and it's going to be all Russians here in this first point. I'll tell you what, Billy, Dynasty, they didn't even get 1 kill.
No, Russians looked really strong. Nice movement down the field. We'll see if this continues, Matty.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I were the Russians, I'd want to step it up this game. They got absolutely crushed by Excessive the last match they played. Here comes Todd Martinez moving up the field on the replay. He got shot right there in his face by Permini from the opposite side of the field. Great point by the Russians. They go up 1-0. We're we're going to get back to the action. Well, we'll see if Dynasty can get in this game. They're only down 1 point. That's nothing right now, but the Russians playing good so far.
Strong break by Dynasty, taking snake one right off the go.
See Yosh Rau rolling his gun. Oh, he's going to come off. So Yosh Rau gets shot, loses his first gunfight. Alex Fraige, oh God, the Dynasty's just playing sloppy right now, Billy.
They sure are. Oh, there's another one going.
Oh, and Frank Connell. So 3 lost gunfights in a row, and here come the Russians. All the way to the 50-yard line on the snake side. He's shooting at Justin Schwarz, who's pretty far up on the Dorito side. Oh, here comes Fedorov. Oh, Fedorov laces up Schwartz's back. And that's pretty much it. Fedorov just waving his guys off. That's it. Hey, guys, everyone on Dynasty's dead. Grab that flag and run it in. So here come the Russians. They're going up 2-0. Playing some great ball, man. I mean, but you know what? Honestly, Dynasty just lost 3 gunfights in a row. Schwarz got ran down.
In their bunkers.
Yeah, in their bunkers. You cannot come against the Russians.
Here's the first one here. Yosh gets hit right in the side. Connell comes out, a little too far, whack right in the side of the head. Weak play in the bunkers.
We'll be back with more paintball action right after the break.
We study all of our teams. You know, we spend hours and hours the night before prepping for the games with maps drawn out, and then we also watch every single team we're going to play.
The Smart Parts World Paintball Championships are brought to you by Smart Parts, Equipment Counts, and the Mohegan Sun, a world of play.
Little worn out, but you'll do. Your equipment, however, will not. Your time has come, Soren.
See how it ends at smartparts.com.
Welcome back to the Smart Parts World Paintball Championships. We got our band PSK rocking the house. So the Russian Legion is off to a fast start and now have a 2-0 lead over San Diego Dynasty. All right, so Mike Hinman getting ready for Dynasty, steps on the field. Fedorov and his boys getting ready for the Russians.
I'm sure Dynasty have been having some discussions here. See if they can come up with something.
The discussions are, hey everyone, play tighter. And we'll see if they can play tighter as we see Russians get up into Snake 2 right away. Sasha in Snake 2, shooting. You see the stream of paint going. Oh, I think he might have clipped the back center. Oh, and then he gets a shot off on Greenspan right after that.
Russians shooting their guns well.
As Garrett Maxwell, yes, the Russians are shooting their guns, but that's what the Russians do well, man. These guys train all the time. The Russians are truly professional paintball players. I mean, you know, obviously Dynasty is as well, but the Russians have a training facility in Moscow, and they spend 5 days a week training.
There's Martinez eliminated.
Garrett Maxwell trying to do damage control to get shots off on that snake side. He is on the Dorito side, shooting cross field. Doesn't have a lot of penetration. He's going to come off as well.
Boy, the Russians look great. I mean, they're just moving well, shooting the guns.
The Russians are doing everything right now, and Dynasty cannot catch a break. Plus, it's tough to catch a break when you're losing this many gunfights.
Yep, there's the last one, I think. Oh, one more in the corner.
So Permitny up there in the 50-yard line on the snake side. Kirill rocking it out, and his boy run. It's the lone soldier, Brian Cole, back there. Not much he can do. Though Brian Cole was pulling off a lot of like 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s in the last match that they played, but you can't do that every time. If all your boys don't step up and they're losing a bunch of gunfights, it's going to be really hard for you to be pulling stuff out.
Yeah, it's definitely all about teamwork, Matty. Here's Kirill shooting across at Mike Hinman. And Todd Martinez sticks his head out a little bit too far up. There he gets nailed.
All right, start of this game. Russians putting it on. 10 minutes left in this first half. They have a 3-point lead. We're lucky enough to have Paul Alders here from the Atlanta Predators. Now, Paul, break this down a little bit for us, man. I mean, the last game that the Russians played, they were down right off the break. You know, it was 6-0. Now, do you think they went and changed some stuff up here? I mean, you played against them before.
Absolutely. They have an incredible coaching staff that's going to fix all their problems. They have a bad match, they're going to turn it around. And normally, Dynasty, an excellent sweet spotting and gunfighting team, is struggling, and they're going to have to turn something around to come back in this match.
Thanks, Ball. We'll see if San Diego can come up with something good as we return to the action. We see the Russians in the red and white jerseys, Dynasty in the blue. Dynasty.
Ooh, loses a gun. Look at this.
Schwarz.
They have to get that gun. Yeah, the rules state you have to go back and get your gun. He did, but he got shot.
So Schwarz drops his gun and then picks it up and proceeds to sprint down the field and draw the guns. Here. A penalty is pulled on Schwarz.
Yeah, the way Schwarz ran off the field there, distracting the fire, created a penalty, I believe.
So Johnny Perchek heads to the box, and Bart Blonsky heads up the snake side. Oh, puts about 6.
Russia's playing well.
Right into Yosh Rau's back. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, and Fraige just shoots Bart.
So Fraige runs up, trades out with Bart Blonsky. I don't think it's gonna be enough for Dynasty, because here come the Russians grabbing the flag again. They're gonna go up 4-0 right here. Wow, the Russians are playing some really good paintball right now. Dynasty, they're lacking the teamwork, you know, Billy.
Exactly.
You know, they are an amazing team. They've proven it, you know, for years now. But you can't just go out, go through the motions, and think you're going to win, especially against the Russians. They need to win their gunfights, concentrate. And we see on the replay, Yosh Rau, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, gets a bunch of them right in his side.
That hurts. That grouping hurts.
Yeah, Bart Blonsky made Yosh Rau wear it. Yosh Rau is just looking the other way.
Я вижу, что минус двойка. Я вижу, что минус тройка, блядь, 2. Беги сразу.
Вот скажи мне это, и все.
Я не успею, я не могу пригадаться.
Well, the Russians have got to be feeling pretty good about this game right now. Let's see if San Diego can get back to the drawing board, come up with something hot, and we're going to get back to the action. Dynasty, not one to go quietly ever, and I guarantee
but,
they're
you know,
the
Russians here are a little bit of a situation when you get up 4-0. You know, you tend to relax a little bit, back off the pressure. The Russians against Dynasty, they need to keep up constant pressure.
They do. Here it comes some pressure, diving across. It's Kirill, Promidny getting into that on the Dorito side of the field. Hinman gets shot out of that back center. Dynasty continuing to lose their gunfights. You see Promidny just styling up this Dorito side of the field to the 50-yard line. There's no one on that side. He's unabated. Oh, Todd Martinez is going to take one. He's trying to make something happen and get to Snake 2. Alex Lundqvist rolling his gun. Talking, rolling his gun, good communication. The Russians continue to play flawless paintball right now. And they're going to close it out here.
Ooh, nice shot.
Oh, Ryan Greenspan just couldn't deal. Too many bodies coming in on him. And Alex Lundqvist sprinting in that flag. Russians just destroying Dynasty in the beginning of this game, man. Dynasty, I'm telling you though, these guys, they don't go quietly. When this happens to them, they get in the huddle and they start getting it up. We see Todd Martinez trying to make something happen, but he didn't realize that there was so much penetration on that Dorito side of the field for the Russians, and then Ryan Greenspan, just too many bodies. He just couldn't, you know, I mean, what can you do? There's 4 guys coming at you. San Diego doesn't seem to be catching any breaks. This game is starting to look a little one-sided in favor of the Russian Legion. And while our teams get ready for the next point, let's take a look at this.
Not only do these teams have their own style of play on the field,
gotta win.
They have their own look. That look is incorporated in everything they wear, from their jerseys all the way down to their markers. This is the Dynasty Shocker. Its sleek, smooth lines show off your Southern California style of play.
Smart, methodical paintball.
And this is the Russian Legion Shocker. It's built like a machine. Strong, powerful, and fast. Because that's how they play the game.
Играть и выигрывать.
We will return after this quick timeout, so do not go away. Welcome back to the Smart Parts World Paintball Championships. I'm Matty Marshall with Bill Gardner Jr., and it's the Russian Legion with a commanding 5-0 lead over San Diego Dynasty. The Russian team it's not a team you want to be falling too far behind. Let's see if San Diego can get back in this game.
Let's go! Let's go! Come on now!
There's Fedorov getting his boys up before the start of this next point. Fedorov is, you know, he's become an emotional leader of this team the past couple of years. You know, he was such a talented kid when he first started playing, and now he's just been, you know, really coming of age. Bart Blonsky recent pickup for the Russians this year as well. Barblonsky, East Coast baller, playing on a Russian team. Ooh, but Fedorov and Blonsky walk off. It doesn't look good for the Russians here in this point. Maybe Dynasty finally getting it together. Johnny Perchek rolling his gun from the Dorito side of the field. Referee in there, getting Priobagensky out of there. Here comes Frank Connell, 50-yard line on the Dorito side. Here comes Dynasty finally. Like I was saying, Billy, man, these guys are not just going to get their teeth stomped in the entire game.
That's right.
They've won too many championships. They've been around the block too much for that to happen. There's Johnny Perchek.
You can tell he's mad.
Yeah, Johnny, exactly. You can see in his body language. You know,
right.
This is important to him, man. I mean, you know, that's how Dynasty plays, though. They have a lot of heart, a lot of gumption on that team. They're going to need all of it right now to come back from this deficit. They finally get on the board here, 5-1. With 4 minutes left, Dynasty needs to win a few more points before this half ends if they want to make this a game.
The Russians have worked for years to get where they are. They haven't really been able to beat many American teams until this year. This is pretty much their breakout year.
Well, I'll tell you what, Billy, they've done very well this year, but I believe personally the vibe in the scene, last year, they really started kicking teeth in, man. On Europe, and you know, you could argue that Europe's not as big of a deal as the United States, but...
Well, they did beat Dynasty once last year.
They did beat, that a huge emotional win against Dynasty last year. And Permidny getting worked over by the referee. Yes, he's got a hit on him, he's gonna come off. Ryan Greenspan scanning the field, trying to get some angles.
And he finds an angle.
See, that was sloppy play by the Russians right there. I mean, he just crawled around the side of that snake. I don't know what he was thinking.
Well, also, they're letting Ryan stick his head over the bunker and look around endlessly. He's going to find a shot.
Yeah, Brindikov not doing very well there in that snake. That was not good. Alex Lundqvist, he's got a hit as well. Dynasty dominating on the snake side. Fedorov, he's shot as well. See, that's like just what you were talking about, Billy. They're losing momentum right now. You can't come up and come out hot like that and start stomping people out and then all of a sudden start losing a bunch of gunfights.
That's
making
right.
Stupid moves coming around the snake. Ooh, Ryan Greenspan charging up the field, running down to Mike there, the last guy left alive for the Russians. Dynasty, you know, before they were losing their gunfights, now they're winning their gunfights. Big difference.
That's right. And the momentum. Here goes Greenspan. Look, he hits him right in the leg.
That game's definitely going to pump Dynasty up.
Way to go, Squad 1, way to be!
And with 2:32 left in the first half, San Diego has some time to get right back in this game. Let's see if they can do it.
Matty, paintball's a very emotional game. The Russians are really having some problems right now. They're up, but they're backing off. They're not going for it. They're not playing with the same composure they were earlier.
Well, we'll see. I mean, they still are up, you know, a decent margin. So, oh, and Schwarz trading out right off the break. Both teams down a player, but here comes Bart Blonsky. Bart Blonsky, he's a very fluid player, very creative, and yeah, he sees his opportunities real well. And he gets up to the 50-yard line on the snake side, trying to get shots. Johnny Perchek for Dynasty, moving up the Dorito side. Big move by Johnny Perchek, diving in.
Notice how he used that bunker to block out the paint?
Yeah, that was a good move by Johnny Perchek. I think he got a shot on Bart Blonsky. We'll see referee in there. He's going to check him out. Might have bounced him. So Bart needs to play a little bit tighter in that bunker. Oh, here comes Alex Fraige.
Nice move.
Oh,
nice
Alex
move.
Fraige.
Alex reads the field real well. And look, a penalty. Somebody got a penalty here. Let's see.
It's gonna be on Bart Blonsky. You see Bart arguing with the referee. Here comes Frank Connell, seizing the opportunity on the distraction, comes through. I think he shot Priobagensky. Yes, he did. And here comes Dynasty, man. They're getting right back in this game on the strength of Alex Fraige's run through.
That guy's clean. That guy's clean.
Okay, even though there's a mark on this man, he's actually clean because this is what drew the penalty.
Well, you can see that hit on his backside right there. He took a hit, and that was basically, you know, he had already shot Bart, and Bart just spun on him real quick. And, you know, I mean, Bart's just doing what he's got to do at this point.
Watch this. Watch how fast Bart moves. Look at that. I mean, it's almost just a reaction, but that draws the penalty.
Exactly, and you can see that last shot that Bart got in there, and Alex actually pointing to the shot on the run. Dynasty's captain leading the charge. The San Diego Dynasty continues to come back and cut into the Russians' lead. It's now a 5-3 game. And while our teams regroup, let's check this out.
When players play back-to-back points, they only have 2 minutes to clean off all their old hits, reload with paint and air, and get back out onto the field.
Here we go.
In order to get a fast turnaround, players will get worked over by their teammates and their pit crew like a Formula One race car. It goes without saying that teams that have their act together on the field also have their act together off the field.
Don't let up, boys. Take this point. It's our game.
It's a Russian Legion 5 and the San Diego Dynasty 3. There's just seconds remaining here in the first half. Let's see if someone can score a quick point. The Russians starting down a player. They have 4. Dynasty, of course, full strength on 5. Barblonsky got a penalty that last point on the Alex Fraige run through. Bromini getting up there on the snake side, getting a little tiny bit of penetration. He gets a snake too.
Not a lot of time left, and neither team wanting to really give up a point here.
Yeah, you need to play this point smart, especially the Russians. You know, get to your spot, stay alive, get the kills that you can, but don't give the team anything at this point.
And notice Dynasty here, not coming out nearly as aggressively, sitting back, covering the angles.
Oh, here comes Permini. Gets up on the snake side. Ooh, gets a shot on Maxwell's pack. Good move by Permini, but then, oh God, you don't get in a good spot, make a great shot, and then immediately get greedy.
I think he's aware of the time problems. He was taking some chances.
Yeah, he was taking some chances. I'll give him that. You know, but at this point, it's all about momentum. You know, you don't want to go into the second half down points. And time is ticking off right now. Ooh, Todd Martinez dodges a paintball. We're getting very close here to this half being done. Todd just seeing if he can get a quick kill.
There's the buzzer and the half.
Well, that's going to do it here for the first half. It's the Russian Legion 5, San Diego Dynasty 3. Let's go down on the field with our very own Callie Stidar standing by with San Diego's Ryan Greenspan.
What are you going to do to come back in the second half?
Well, we were trying to hammer down on this side over here and kind of put a lot of pressure over here, but it wasn't really working. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of switch it around. The last couple points we got, we're just kind of making moves through the snake and getting down there and backdooring them from there. So that's what we're going to kind of keep trying to do.
Communication is everything in paintball, so you guys need to step it up communication-wise too?
Yeah, it's really hard to hear in here, but we're gonna try to yell and scream all we can. But mainly we're just gonna be shooting our guns and just keep making moves on that snake and penetrating through there.
All right, well, good luck second half.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Callie. We'll be back with second half action right after these messages.
See how it ends at smartparts.com.
Welcome back to the Mohegan Sun Arena and the Smart Parts World Paintball Championships. At the half, it's Jacksonville 4, New York 2, and we have a visitor in the booth.
All right, we're at halftime right now. The score, Russians 5, San Diego 3. I'm Matty Marshall. I'm here with Bill Gardner Jr. and our special guest, Mike Venezia of the Atlanta Predators. Now, Mike, one of the best players on Dynasty's squad, Angel Fragoza, is out with an injured ankle right now. How do you think that's affecting him?
I definitely think it made Dynasty come out to a slow start in the first half. Angel's one of their key players. They were sending him to the snake on the break almost every game. Right now, they're having to adjust to that and move other players into the snake.
Now, Mike, with Angel being out, even though he's one of the most underrated, consistent killers on that team, they got a lot of big stars on that team, guys with a lot of heart, a lot of drive, and they've been through this before. They've been down against big teams in huge games. You think they're going to step it up right now?
I definitely do. They definitely have the heart to pull this off. They've played against the Russians a lot, and they know how they play. They have some clutch players for sure. So I think some of their guys are going to definitely step it up the second half.
Awesome. All right, we're going to head to second half action right now. Thanks for stopping by, Mike. It's the Russian Legion 5 and San Diego Dynasty 3 as we begin the second half of play. All right, so the Russians starting down a body on that Bart Blonsky penalty. They only have 4 to Dynasty's 5.
And Dynasty mounting a pretty strong comeback here.
Ooh, definitely. It shots him off the break, so now they're only looking at 3 Russians. Alex Fraige on the snake side. Here he comes. Going right past snake 2 all the way into the 50. Good job by Alex Fraige. Alex Fraige has played well in this event so far.
Yeah, he has. His timing's been impeccable.
Well, Alex Fraige, the captain of this team, and in order for you guys, for the team to come back, they're going to need their stars to play well. They need Brian Cole to play well. They need Alex Fraige to play well. We see Alex Fraige locked in a gunfight with Alex Lundqvist right now. Oh, and Alex Lundqvist, King of Sweden, he's going to lose that gunfight. The Russians, they have a real big international flavor. I mean, Alex Lundqvist is from Sweden. Dan Maskel's from the UK. They have the Blonsky brothers from the East Coast of America. I mean, they really have gone around and just cherry-picked talent from everywhere.
Permitney coming out of the box.
Ooh, I think he got clipped. Yep, he's waving it off right there. He did get shot, so Permitney's going to walk off. Russians still losing momentum right now, and it's a lot of it's gunfights, man. It's timing and gunfights, composure. Dynasty is putting it on right now because they decided, you know, hey, we're going to stop losing our gunfights. We're going to make good moves. And Dynasty just putting it on the Russians, coming on the strength of Alex Fraige right now, man. I mean, he had that really good run through before, drawing the penalty from Bart Blonsky. I mean, even on the run, he was pointing the hit. And now, great move up that snake side, shoots Alex Lundqvist. Awesome job.
Way to get in there and handle that guy.
San Diego Dynasty take another point, cutting the Russians' lead to just 1, making it 5-4.
We now have ourselves a game, folks.
San Diego is definitely going to take it.
Russia's going to win.
The Russians began this game by taking the first 5 points. Let's see if San Diego can return the favor by taking what would be the next 5. So the Russians, they need to get it together because Dynasty is really putting it on them right now.
And from a momentum standpoint, when they come, Dynasty coming back from...
Well, Bart Blonsky sliding into snake 2. He's going to wrap around, try to shoot Greenspan in the back center. Oh, and he gets him. Oh, and Dynasty, 2 players walk off, but Bart, you know, he made a good move. You know, but Bart, he just got the team a penalty recently, so he wants to get right up in and start killing people right away. He did. He got right up there.
He was hanging a little bit too long.
He did. He just got a little bit too greedy. You see Permidny up there on the Dorito side of the field. It's Brian Cole shooting at Permidny. Now that back X is kind of a hard bunker to play, Billy. I mean, it's...
Right, but if you notice how Cole sort of using the shape of the bunker, the way he's standing there, creating the natural shape of his body up against that bunker, that's what you have to do, because there's a hole right in the
Brian Cole's definitely...
lower section.
Yeah, there's 2 holes on it. You know, there's a hole on the, holes on the side and holes on the top. And Permidny trying to work that bunker to his advantage. Russians dominant field position right now. Garrett Maxwell. Ooh, Garrett Maxwell gets a shot on Mishka. So Garrett Maxwell recently picked up by Dynasty. He's trying to prove to, you know, his team that, look, man, I'm one of the top players in the world too. You know, I mean, Dynasty is chock full of really, really good players. So in order to excel on that team, you got to have games.
Right. And one thing Maxwell has is speed. He's one of the faster players.
Ooh, a 5-minute major penalty on Alex.
This is not what the Russians needed.
Oh, you see Dan Maskell there just frustrated. I mean, what really can you do? Alex Lundqvist, now I'm not sure if that was a gun penalty or if he was playing on. But the Russians so frustrated. I mean, they had to play down before, and then immediately now they get a 5-minute major penalty.
All right, now let's take a look at the replay. Bart Blonsky comes out, he already made a shot, he tries for another one, popped right in the head, little bit too greedy.
Oh, and these penalties are just killing the Russians.
Please, buddy, stop getting 5-minute penalties.
Well, San Diego Dynasty have climbed back into this game as they tie things up against the Russian Legion, making it a 5-5 game. And to make matters even worse, Alex Lundqvist gets hit with a 5-minute major penalty, so the Russians will be playing shorthanded during these next crucial points. Billy, and the Russians have to play for 5 minutes down. Here comes Bart Blonsky, big move into snake 2. He made it in there. Immediately tries to cut down Schwarz. Oh, he got a shot on Johnny Perchek, but Schwarz made it out.
Russians are a team that consistently play well with 4 players. It's amazing.
Wow.
I've seen them do this before.
I know. You know, well, they train for that, man. I mean, they actually do drills where they just play with 4 guys.
Look at that.
Wow, they should play with 4 all the time.
I know.
As Alex Fraige catches one in his eye. So
you know, now you eat up this clock, though. You know, you got your 4 players.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
you know, eat up that 5 minutes.
I would try to take it, but also, if you can, score the point, obviously. But, yeah, you want to take as much time off the clock as possible. Now, with Dynasty throwing that flag in.
They're not going to let you eat up the clock.
Yeah, smart move by Dynasty. And we see an injured Angel Fragoza in the coach's box for Dynasty.
And Schwarz slides out to the wire on the replay here, and, Fraige right in the face, right in the goggle.
Well, Dynasty gonna have to step it up. So the Russian Legion get a much-needed point. They're now up 1 against San Diego Dynasty, and San Diego Dynasty cleverly concedes the point to conserve the Russian penalty time. We got ourselves a great match here. We'll see how it all plays out when we return right after these messages.
Yeah, we kind of goof around a lot.
Don't blow it.
We kind of all just want to have a fun time.
We're all best friends, And so we just joke and kid and just mess around constantly.
I don't know, we kind of beat each other up a lot and make fun of each other.
Our coach is a big fat.
It's a good time, good time.
You seen Kenny Rogers? You know what happens to cameramen.
1, 2, 3, take!
Welcome back to the Mohegan Sun Arena for the Smart Parts World Paintball Championships. I'm Manny Marshall, bringing you all the action with Bill Gardner Jr. With 11 minutes left to play in the second half, it's the Russian Legion 6, San Diego Dynasty 5. Let's see if San Diego Dynasty can take advantage of the Russians, who will now be playing shorthanded for the next 4 minutes.
5-minute penalty can easily kill the team. We got 2 5-minute penalties. It was awful. And now we got 5-minute penalty again.
Rio Bagensky getting ready to roll his gun off the break. Let's see if he can shoot someone, even it up, because they're playing with 4 players right now. Here comes Bart Blonsky.
Dynasty needs to step it up now, take advantage of this 5-minute.
Oh, Todd Martinez gets clipped.
Oh, two of them out.
Todd Martinez and Ryan Greenspan shot out. Ooh, but Bart Blonsky, he's gonna wear one as well. So it's 3-on-3. The Russians down a body because of the Alex Lundqvist penalty.
And time is coming off that clock.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a good job of grinding that penalty out. So we see Brian Cole rocking out that back X on the snake side. Mishka for the Russians. Ooh, slips and slides. Get up into snake 1. He's trying to get his shots cross field and down the wire. Snake dominant side of this field. And there's Fedorov. He's rolling his gun at Brian Cole. Brian Cole's kind of trapped right now. They're not letting him out of that back X.
Mishka needs to put his head down here. That 5 minutes, you want to run that thing out.
Well, they're doing a pretty good job right now. You know,
I know.
He's got good shots across field. Ooh, there you go. They let Brian Cole finally into snake 1. Grinding that penalty clock down. Fedorov rolling his gun, double tapping the trigger.
That was close.
Ooh, almost got Brian. Referee,
he did. Brian.
He did get Brian, but Brian Cole gets nicked in his pack. Here comes Mishka up the snake side. Mike Hinman just trying to handle both sides.
Mishka playing real well here. You know, he looks like, he almost plays like Fedorov. He's the closest player to Fedorov.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mishka was the original. You know, I mean, he was the first super talented player to come out of Russia. You know, and then Fedorov just almost brought it to a new level, you know, with his running and shooting skills. And Hinman finally shot out of that center Aztec. He was just getting pinched too much from the sides. And Dynasty concedes the point.
Serves the rest of that penalty.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, man, they ran a ton of time off that penalty. Very good job by the Russians. And Todd Martinez gets nicked there in his loader, checks it real quick, and at the exact same time, Greenspan walks off as well. Dynasty needs to get back in this game. Even with 1 man down, the Russian Legion score another shorthanded point to extend their lead by 2. It's now a 7-5 game. And while our teams catch their breath, let's take a look at this.
My name is Kostya Fedorov. I play for Russian Legion.
Paintball's popularity isn't just exploding in North America, it's also spreading across Europe.
My name is Mishka.
One of the teams in the tournament, the Russian Legion, has dominated the European scene, winning in England, France, and Norway, to name a few.
Mapp Chhim, Bart Blonsky, Alex Lundqvist.
They practice 5 days a week, with paintball being their full-time job. They spend more time working on their game than any other team going.
Oh, here comes another big move by the Russians.
I chatted with some of the guys from Legion earlier. So your team is from Russia.
Maxim Morozov, Dan Maskell, Vasily Panteleev.
Is the language a barrier at all?
У нас на 4-очку прикрывает его.
Hey guys, I need 3 pods of evil, please.
Nowadays, it's not a barrier at all, so we can understand what New York guys are telling us.
Right, no problem.
what Dan from London is telling us.
Stephen, I love you.
We have some like 4 or 5 Russians who knows English some. Everything is very bad. And they can speak with the guys on the field.
The Russians are zoned up across the field.
We need to take the initiative, guys.
Maxim Preobrazhensky.
Kirill Prihidny.
The good thing about speaking Russian, I think, like when you're playing against an all-American team, is you'll call out a position and they won't know what we're talking about.
The Russian Legion finally getting something going.
We're ranked number 1 in the NXL right now, and we'll see what happens next year.
My name is Kirill.
The Russian Legion have taken the last 2 points, stepping it up. It's now a 7-5 game. The Russians still down a body on that Alex Lundqvist penalty, but...
You can't tell.
No, man. They won the last 2 points. Like I was saying, man, they should play before all the time. And heavy guns off the break for the Russians. Looks like they might have got Frank Connell, and they do. Alex Fraige. Well, Dynasty is just doing nothing with this power play, man. I mean, you really want to be putting it on the Russians, getting right back in this game. And it's still a really close game. I mean, regardless, it's 2 points is nothing.
Ooh,
penalty.
Penalty again?
So Schwarz is going to be pulled out. I think that was Perchek that got this played on with the hit. He gets a 2-minute penalty.
This time the penalty's on Dynasty, and not a good time.
Definitely not a good time for them to be getting a penalty. Yosh Rau getting in the snake. Let's see if Yosh can make something out of this. Ooh, here come the Russians charging down the Dorito side of the field, scoring the 3 points, even though they've been down a body, and Dynasty's doing nothing with this power play.
The Dynasty penalty will come off the board here, though. It was only a 2-minute.
So the Russians playing a very solid ball here in the second half. Now the Russians continue to put it on. It's now an 8-5 game. Russians have run off 3 consecutive points to push their lead to 3 over the San Diego Dynasty.
The problem is that they are fixing the time. I still got 1 minute and 12 seconds to go out.
So the Russians are playing with 4, but they've been doing a really good job. And here comes, big move, Mishka diving head first in the 40 Dorito. Great job. Immediately guns up. See if he got Todd Martinez. Referee's in there checking him out. And then Mishka loses that gunfight. We talked about that, Bill. You don't want to make a great move, awesome move off the break, get a kill. You're in a great spot. Your team's, down a body,
yeah,
but the penalty.
But the Russians should almost give training sessions on how to, how to win with 4 players. They take a huge chance, get somebody way up there.
No, definitely. And
I'm
just saying, Mishka needs to win, needs to not get shot in the
hopper. Look at that move. Who's that? Cole?
Brian Cole. Brian Cole sliding up into the 50. Fedorov tried to pick him up. The last second couldn't do it. And here comes, blowing down that Dorito side, Garrett Maxwell. Garrett Maxwell basically knew that because they had shot Mishka, he got a quick kill and then just charges down and sees that Fedorov's gun is turned to BC. Brian Cole got in that 50-yard line, a snake side diversion. There goes Garrett Maxwell. And we see on the replay, Mishka shooting right hand at the left-hand side of a bunker. That's why he got shot.
And here, Fedorov sees Maxwell coming, steps outside, but it doesn't work.
And Dynasty closing the gap here as the second half is almost over. San Diego comes right back to cut the lead to 2. The score now 8-6 in favor of the Russian Legion. I have a feeling this game is going to come down to the final point. Let's see what happens when we get right back after this break.
Let's go here, Dynasty. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go 3. Let's go 3.
See how it ends at smartparts.com.
Welcome back to the Smart Parts World Paintball Championships. And that's our house band, PSK, cranking out the tunes.
All right, under 5 minutes left here in the second half. The score, Russians 8, Dynasty 6. We have Chris Wedge from the New York Aces. Chris, you've been watching Dynasty play for years now, man, and you know the heart and drive of that team. They're down. They've been down. They tied it up. What do you think? What do you think's going to happen, man? You think they can come back here?
Like you said, Dynasty's been one of the best teams in the world for a long time, and I do think they have a chance to come back, but the Russians have been playing strong with 4 guys down a body, so it's going to be a really tough fight if they're going to do it.
Thanks, Chris.
The game was ours from the beginning. We got 5 points. We got penalty. We got second penalty. That's why the game is so close.
Well, he's right. The game's definitely really close. You know, both teams haven't played perfect, but it's like we say, Billy, don't be perfect, be clutch. And right now, this is the clutch time. It's all about gumption and who wants it more.
That's not good. 2 Russians gone, 3 Russians gone.
Oh, this point is going to be a smashing one for Dynasty because they shot 2 guys off the break. Here comes Fedorov coming down that Dorito side, just trying to make something happen.
Fedorov knows the penalty's almost over. Tries to make it happen, it doesn't work.
And Schwarz knows the penalty's almost over, so he starts shooting the box, and you see the paint just exploding off the net where the Permini's got to come out of there, and he's just like, look, you know what?
He didn't even bother.
He's like, you know what? I'm over it, man. You guys win that point. We'll try to come back and win the next one. Frank Connell has something to say to him, too. Here come Dynasty, man. I'll tell you what, dude, it's like I talked about, gumption. These boys have a lot of gumption. So here we are on the replay. Bart Blonsky loses his first gunfight. And Fedorov just trying to make something happen as the penalty was winding down. He gets destroyed, gets a little extra love. And here come Dynasty. The San Diego Dynasty win a critical point to pull within 1 of the Russian Legion and make it an 8-7 game. We've got 3:41 left to play here in this match, and this one's gonna go down to the wire. So Dynasty threatening right now. And the Russians back at full strength. They got 5. Here comes Bart Blonsky. He's been able to get into Snake 2. No problem. He's just been getting shot out of there. He's rolling his gun. You can see the stream of paint just heading right back into the back center. Dorito.
He's positioning himself very well in that bunker.
Garrett Maxwell shot off that Dorito side. So the Russians are looking good at this point. Ooh. Crucial point. Oh, Hinman. Let's see if Mike Hinman got that break. No, it bounced. Oh, but Todd Martinez just shot out of Snake 1. So this is a crucial point right here. This is the who wants it point. You know, whoever's
absolutely
on the field right now, time is winding down. Who's gonna sack up and take this game?
Greenspan jumps out to Snake 1, but he just shot.
Yes. Awesome shot by Greenspan, taking out Fedorov. The star of the Russian Legion, shot out off the Dorito side by Ryan Greenspan in the most crucial point of the match. Bart Blonsky rolling his gun on that back center.
Ooh, nice move here. Going the inside route, but Hinman sees him.
Well, you know what,
nice
though?
Shot.
The thing was, it was a nice shot by Hinman, but Bart, he thought there was someone in that 50-yard line bunker. There was nobody there, so he went to bunker nobody.
Yeah, and Hinman, you know, popping his head, taking that look over the shoulder, that's what you need to do.
Yeah, you know, but hey, Bart set it up right, and if there had been a guy in there, he would have got him clean. Oh, so Bart's dead, and Mishka's dead as well. Here comes San Diego Dynasty. Running down the last player is Brian Cole. Ooh, Brian Cole puts it on the last Russian, Permini. And he's gonna walk off, triple tapped in his eye. And Ryan Greenspan runs that flag in. Awesome job by Dynasty sacking up here.
And now the replay. Fedorov gets popped in the side. A great shot by Dynasty. And now the inside run, trying to bunker someone who isn't there. Hinman sees him, shoots him.
And we see Brian Cole running down from Indy there at the very last part of the point. Great job by Dynasty. Hammers are strong, tying it up. San Diego comes right back with 3 consecutive points of their own to tie things up at 8 against the Russian Legion. And with just 2 minutes remaining, this next point could very well decide the outcome of this match.
Little time on the clock here, Matty. You know, if I'd been the Russians that last play, I think I would have called the game a little sooner.
Yeah, and here come the Russians trying to get out. Bart Blonsky again, no problem getting in his Snake 2. Dynasty cannot shoot him off the break, man. He's in there flawless off the break every time. Justin Schwarz,
a little upset.
Well, he's trying to earn respect right now, you know? He's just got on this team, but he gets shot off the break. Oh, Bart Blonsky clips Johnny Perchek out of that center.
And
here
Blonsky's
comes
also
Yosh Rau.
Eliminated now.
Blonsky got shot out of his bunker, getting a little bit too green on his gunfight. Yosh Rau crawling up into Snake 2. Good move by Yosh.
Yosh taking the 50. Oh, but he gets popped.
Oh, Yosh gets shot, but he clips out Mishka out the center.
Look at
but
this
the
field
Russians'
position.
dominant field position over here on the Dorito side. It's just Alex Fraige and Frank Connell.
Nice shot.
And there comes Alex Fraige. Good job, man, by the captain of Dynasty. And here comes Fedorov running all the way on the Dynasty side of the field, but he is hit. And Frank Connell pumping his fist in the air. They haven't won anything yet. but there's under a minute left here as Alex Fraige's walking that flag and the horn's gonna blow. So great job by Dynasty coming back, getting in this game. They're taking the lead. Look at Schwarz throwing a little fit. He knows how important this point is.
Perchek gets popped right in the side of the head.
Yeah, Perchek took one in his face, and then it was the Russians who threw it away because they had dominant field position on that Doritos side. They lose in gunfights, and Fedorov got great penetration all the way to Dynasty's side of the field. He got hit in his pack, and Dynasty takes the lead. We'll see if the Russian Legion can force an overtime. Don't go away.
See how it ends at smartparts.com.
The Smart Parts World Paintball Championships are brought to you by Smart Parts, Equipment Counts, and the Mohegan Sun, a world of play.
Welcome back to the Mohegan Sun Arena for the Smart Parts World Paintball Championships. It's San Diego Dynasty 9, Russian Legion 8. The Russians still have enough time to force overtime, but they're going to have to make it happen fast. Let's see if they're able to pull it off.
We have to win this. It's 43 seconds, exactly the same thing that happened in Pittsburgh World Cup last year. We played PSV and we actually got the points. So let's see what happens.
So this is it right here, under a minute left. The Russians going to have to come hard and fast and score a quick point here to try to force the overtime sudden death. All Dynasty has to do is just get to their spots and cross it up and keep the Russians from running down the field. Here come the Russians all the way up in the center.
They don't have a lot of time. They need to make something happen.
Yeah, they got to get some quick kills. Permini up in the center. Tries to get out. He got shot, so he quickly runs off the field. The Russians are just sitting in their spot. It's like they're conceding the game.
Bad break. I mean, you have to go do something.
Yeah, they need to be wrapping around and trying to make something happen right now. You don't want to just shoot your lanes. Here we go. Alex Lundqvist, he's an aggressive player, making his move down the side. I don't know if they have enough time left. Oh, but he takes one.
Too little, too late, man.
Yeah, and the Russians are just falling, and that's it. You see them disappointed, shaking their heads. They threw away this match. At one point, they had a 5-point lead.
They had the momentum, it shifted, and they never got it back.
I'll tell you what, I mean, they even scored shorthanded points, but Dynasty maintained their composure. They came with gumption, had that strong hammer, handling business. You got to give props to Dynasty, and again, that's why they're widely considered, the top team in the world.
Exactly.
And that's going to do it. The Russians are unable to score the point and force overtime. Your final score, San Diego Dynasty 9, Russian Legion 8. This loss ends the Russians' hopes of advancing to the semifinals as they are eliminated. Let's go down to the field now with the third member of our broadcast team, Callie Steidehar, who's standing by with the Russians' Matt Blonsky.
You guys were up at one point, 5-0. How did Dynasty pull through on this?
I don't know. We just, I guess we lost the momentum. We stopped keying the guys going out to this Dorito side, and they started making it, and they just started pushing it real well. And they also started taking the snake, the first and second one off the break, so that kind of killed us right there.
Those guys are just phenomenal, and I think I would bet my money on them.
Way to battle it out. You came victorious at the end. What changed the second half?
Well, I have to say we had the advantage because going right-handed down the side of the snake. We have Alex Fraige doing a phenomenal job down there destroying people, and it just gave us the upper hand.
Fraige, how was it out there, man? Tough battle, huh?
It was pretty fun. It's always a challenge playing the Russians. We kept our composure. Going down 5-0, you tend to want to start, pointing fingers and yelling at your teammates or whatever, but you got to keep your composure. And, yeah, I mean, we got a lot of veterans on the team, and they have a lot of gumption. So, heart, gumption, the will to win.
Well, congratulations, both of you. Good luck in the rest of the tournament. That's 2 wins for you guys, so good luck.
My arm pad right there.
So, Russians blowing a 5-0 lead early on. Dynasty, holding their composure as always, showing why they're one of the best teams in the world.
It's really great when you come off and win with a really tough match. The future rounds, they should do much better now. They are prepared. They might even win this thing.
And after 5 weeks of play, our standings look like this. In the National Conference, San Diego clinches a semifinal berth as they eliminate the Russian Legion. And in the American Conference, we find Atlanta and Seattle in the driver's seat. Be sure to join us next week as the New York Aces take on the Jacksonville Raiders. And that's going to do it for us here today. And on behalf of Bill Gardner Jr., Callie Steidhart, and all of our crew, I'm Matty Marshall saying, see you next time.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.